I learned about AAOE a couple of years ago through a mutual orthopedic client. It was actually through my state orthopedic association, which was Florida Bones. I attended Florida Bones for the first time, had a wonderful conference, met a lot of fantastic people. The people in the ortho community were just fantastic. And then one of those mentioned that, hey, are you going to be at the AAOE conference coming up in a couple of months? Not knowing anything about AAOE, I started to do some research, found out it's the national organization that represents orthopedic executives. It was immediately something that I thought would be a good opportunity. I've reached out, had a conversation with Addie, I believe, via email, and they had an opening and I had signed up, and it's probably been one of the best decisions that I've made throughout my career here with TSI. I wanted to become a volunteer of AAOE because I don't sit idle very well. If I'm going to be at a conference or attend an event, I always like to help. Just the way that I'm wired, I like giving back. And being the fact that AAOE has so many great different, organizations that they work with, whether it's charitable organizations and just growing the orthopedic community in itself. It's something that I'm very passionate about. I love giving back, and I just definitely wanted to be involved and help out in any way that I could. My overall journey with AAOE started probably about 8 years ago. As mentioned, it started by attending my first state Bones conference, finding out that some of those folks that attended that state conference were also involved in the national conference, and just really having a good experience on the state level, wanted me to explore attending the conferences on the national level. And then from there, once you start to meet some of these folks, get a chance to meet a lot of the other vendors, get a chance to meet the AAOE staff, I think it's kind of hard not to be involved with AAOE. As mentioned many times already, everybody is just so wonderful. Everybody is competent. Everybody is willing to help. And I think it just makes that decision to be involved with AAOE so much easier. And I have thoroughly enjoyed every minute of it. I attend the AAOE Annual Conference every year because it is probably one of the most well-run conferences that I've attended in my TSI career. I do a lot of trade shows throughout the year, and the AAOE conference is just run very efficiently. The staff is very pleasant. The locations they select are always amazing. And the attendees of the AAOE themselves are just absolutely fantastic to work with. To me, the value of attending the AAOE Annual Conference is exponential. And doing a lot of trade shows throughout the year, I would say it's probably one of our most profitable shows that we attend. And it's profitable in many different facets. It's profitable, the fact that you have so much exposure to some of these large orthopedic groups. That's one of the biggest things, right? It's exposure, just being able to meet somebody that you've been trying to get a hold of for many years. Now that they're actually at a conference, you have the ability to see them at one of their annual events. AAOE does a great job at bringing the attendees into the exhibit hall. And they also do a fantastic job of hosting, whether it's cocktail hours or whether it's some sort of, themed event in the evening. So really just being able to rub elbows with those folks. So that's probably one of the biggest aspects of attending the AAOE. And then the other aspect of it is it's just such a tight-knit community. A lot of the folks that belong to AAOE all talk and associate with each other. They talk best practices with each other. So if you have a valuable product and that product can help one organization, odds are that it's going to be able to help a lot more organizations. And all of those folks at AAOE are in subcommittees or they're in certain areas based on size. So it does give you the access to meeting with other like-minded folks. And the return on that investment, as I mentioned earlier, it's just exponential. You can't quantify it. We've been profitable every year that we've attended AAOE, and we look forward to continuing that trend. The best part about exhibiting at the annual conference are the relationships and long-term friendships that I've created over the last 7 years. I think my first annual conference was back in 2015. I believe it was Chicago. Never been to an AAOE event at that time. Just immediately meeting the AAOE staff, I felt welcomed. Meeting other exhibitors for the first time. I've now forged some very long-term relationships and partnerships with other vendors over the last 7 years. And these are the same folks that I see every year now at annual conference. So to me, that's the best part, is the long-term relationships, the AAOE staff being so kind and friendly, the locations that they choose. It's always very well attended. And I just think it's one of those shows that if you want to see a big return on your investment, you need to be involved every year. You need to keep coming back every year. And I plan on doing so until the end of time.